Happy Monday from me and Superman. Usually Monday is always my day off, but because I'm very generous, I'm giving my time today to do a couple of cover calls at work. And then tonight I have my Connect group at church, and then guess what I've managed to do? I have managed to persuade Marcus to watch The Crown with me on Netflix.
Don't you get sick of it all? And lonely?
I do. Which is why it's so important to have the right person by your side. You understand, the titles, they're not the job. She is the job. Loving her. Protecting her. She is the essence of your duty.
So he's been watching the first couple of episodes with me and he is really into it. The Crown is just one of my favourite shows. You know, yes, it's fictional, but it is a reasonably accurate depiction of what actually went on in the royal family. It's good for Marcus to have a little bit of education, considering we're planning to go to Windsor in August. It's not really his fault that he doesn't know a lot about the royal family, because it's not really taught massively in school as far as I know, or in college. So he was really surprised to know that the Queen has 4 children, not 2. Didn't know a lot about Princess Margaret, if anything, and his knowledge about Princess Diana is minimal. Oh my god. Anyway, yes, it has been scandal abundant in the Commons this week with the revelation that Matt Hancock has been having a fling or some sort of dalliance with his aide.
It's just a little crush, not like our feet every time we touch. It's just some little thing, not like everything I do depends on you. Sha-la-la-la.
The big controversy has been about him breaking social distancing regulations to be in an embrace with her. The fact that he's cheated on his wife seems to be secondary to that, but okay. Boris Johnson has been under fire because he didn't sack Matt Hancock. He considered the matter closed. But I mean, come on, of course he wasn't going to fire him, was he? I mean, philandering? It would be a bit rich coming from him, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, as far as I know, if you resign from your position in government, you can take up a different role, whereas if you're sacked, it's a lot harder to do so. Hence the fact that Sajid David has now taken over as Health Secretary, having previously resigned as Chancellor of the Exchequer right before the pandemic. He can now take on that position as Health Secretary.
I want to see the restrictions lifted and life going back to normal as quickly as possible, and that's at my right here and now. That is my absolute priority.
I mean, I know they say we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but in Matt Hancock's case, we do now. So Dominic Cummings is probably all over this. He didn't need to spend a whole day in front of the committee trying to convince them to get Matt Hancock fired for 15 different things. He only needed to wait for this video footage to come out. He's probably laughing his head off. Doing my cover calls now. Okay, I'm just going in to pay my gardener and have a look at their new Chihuahua puppies. Oh my gosh, they're so cute! Oh, they're lovely! Yeah, oh, they're gorgeous! Wow, that's amazing! Gosh, they're really cute.
Ronnie, yes. Reggie.
Ronnie and Reggie.
Yes, it is Reggie, and that's Cookie's going to be Ronnie.
Oh, wow!
That's hanging at the moment, so I might end up with one.
Okay, I bet you'll end up keeping one, won't you? Oh gosh, they are really, really cute, those dogs. They're right little yappers though, and I am not convinced I would want a dog. Man's best friend. Just don't brand me a dog hater now. I'm a cat person. And obviously a parrot person. Oh, there you are. Looking for you. How's your day going? Right, well, Croatia need to equalise against Spain in the next few seconds, or they are out of the competition.
I mean, we think it's you, which causes Paul and Barnabas a bit of a challenge, but they've seen the kingdom of God come and they're responding to it, and Paul and Barnabas are desperately trying to drag them into the kingdom of God and go, listen, the kingdom of God has come amongst you. But look what happens next. But when Jews came from Antioch and Iconium, and having persuaded the crowds, they stoned Paul and dragged him out of the city, supposing he was dead. That city and had made many disciples, they returned to Lystra and to Iconium and Antioch. But here's also what I would love. That our neighbours who don't know about the kingdom of God, that they receive the healing.
Yeah.
That's what I would observe from these passages, is that actually the healing doesn't come to the followers of Christ. The followers of Christ administer it to those who don't yet know him.
This is a really excellent message from my church, all about the kingdom and how God working through us can help those outside to come to know Christ and to receive healing. And even if we fail and fall down, the Lord will always just pick us back up and help us to continue to do what he wants us to do and to reach those around us. And that's my prayer. Because at the end of the day, everything around us is temporal. Only the kingdom of God will last forever.
There's no one like Jesus, no.